days when everything just goes perfect. You walk in, wave your magic wand, the motor goes up on the dyno, everything bolts right on, it makes 1,000,000 horsepower, and everything runs perfect. Well, this is not one of those days. In this video, we're going to install the not-so-low-buck Cadillac STS Supercharger on the larger 6-liter. After already running this test on the smaller 4.8-liter, the thing worked out great. It made good power. Unfortunately, after running that video, the prices shot up on these Superchargers, so they're no longer a low-buck option, despite the fact that the guys at Mac Daddy Parts now offer adapters to install these on an LS. But after running it on the 4.8-liter, we decided, hey, I wonder if that Supercharger has enough capacity to run on the larger, more powerful 6-liter. So that's the test for today. We're going to run the motor NA, install the Cadillac Supercharger, and unfortunately it did not work out great. Everything was not cooperating, so here's what happened. Okay guys, now we got the NA runs done, it's time for some boost. Time to install the Cadillac Supercharger. To get things started, we ran our 6-liter naturally aspirated before installing the blower. This was our original Big Bang motor, the motor that made 1,543 horsepower with twin turbos on it. It was running a little different configuration when we did that, but it's still basically a stock bottom end LY6 6-liter with extra ring gap in it, so stock block, stock crank, stock rod, stock pistons, you know, all of that stuff. We had TrickFlow 225, the Gen X CNC ported heads on it. It had a good size cam in it, decent for a 6-liter. We could have obviously had quite a bit more camshaft than this, but it was a centrifugal blower cam, a 613 596 lift, 227 244 degree duration split, and 115 degree LSA. Now a lot of guys are going to be saying, yeah, but that's a centrifugal blower cam. This is a positive displacement blower cam. Yeah, that doesn't matter. So we had that combination. We did top it with a stock truck intake and throttle body, which would be restrictive on this motor. But we weren't really looking to try to maximize the NA power output. We just wanted to get this thing up and running and working so we could install the blower on it. We ran a set of 1 7/8" long tube headers with the collector extensions and no mufflers on it. We ran all of this with a Holley HP management system. We dialed in the tune. We ran 29 or 30 degrees of timing. This was run on 91 pump gas. This thing had 80-pound injectors in it. And again, you know, pump gas tune. This thing runs on pump gas because it's basically got stock compression and it's not a problem. And as we can see here, this thing still makes good power. It made 530 horsepower, 528.6, so 529 horsepower, and 499 foot-pounds of torque. It has a good torque curve. You know, this thing's doing what it's supposed to. We've run with a bigger camshaft and a different intake manifold. This thing will be up near, you know, 565 or 570 or so. But here I did an interesting test when this thing was NA. Normally we have, if we take a look at the timing curve on this thing, we're starting out about 17 degrees and then ramping it up to 30 out at the power peak. So down here below 3,000 RPM, it has 17 degrees of timing. And then after we ramp up the timing curve, we have 30 degrees of total timing out here at the power peak. Now I did something cool where we added a bunch of timing down here in this low RPM range, and here's what happened. So you can see we picked up torque here in the 3,000 up to about 3,500, which is where we added the timing. Now we added 3.5 degrees down here, bringing this up to from 17 to 21 or so, 22. The problem with that, or the potential problem with that, now we're running this thing cold at about 150 degrees, and we obviously have lots of airflow. It's not in a heated engine compartment, and we can get away with that stuff because we've got cold water, we've got good airflow to it. But in the car, even though it likes the extra timing here, you might not be able to do that, because in this area and then up to around the torque peak, this is where you have to be concerned about detonation. So even though we show that we've added power there by adding timing, you might not be able to get away with that in the car, especially running on pump gas. So now that we've run the NA combination on our 6-liter, let's find out what would happen when we put the Cadillac STS Supercharger on there. After running our naturally aspirated 6-liter, we got excited and installed the blower as we showed in the video, and everything was working out good. We used the adapters from the guys at Mac Daddy Parts and installed the Cadillac STS blower, hooked up the intercooler. We have an air-to-water on this setup. We ran Dyno water through it just the way that we did in the 4.8 liter, and all of that worked out just fine. We had the same air inlet as we ran on the 4.8 liter. There was one issue in the back on this, because this is a Gen 4 based motor. It has a different valley cover on it that has the provision for the oil sensor, and that's kind of in the way of the air inlet, but we managed to get the air inlet tube back in there, and it's the same big 102 millimeter throttle body and 3.5 inch piece of tubing that we used to be the air inlet back into the feed the supercharger. We ran the same pulley assembly, the same accessory drive. Everything basically was just taken off of the 4.8 and put onto the 6-liter. But unfortunately, here is what happened. No matter what we tried to do, this thing just did not want to make power. Now it's doing what we expect here. Maybe this might be a little confusing, so let's get rid of, we'll get rid of the horsepower here so you can see. So the red is the blower and the black is the NA motor. So here on the load in at 3,500 and all the way up to almost 4,500, it's kind of doing what we expect. It's making about 8 pounds of boost. That's down from about 11 that we were running on the 4.8, and that's exactly what we would expect. On the bigger motor, it's making more power, it has more displacement. We would see a drop in boost, exactly as we expected. It went from 11 pounds down to about 8 pounds, and it's adding a ton of torque here in this area. So we're up from the NA motor from 455 to 620, so you're looking at 175 foot-pounds of torque. So those are the kind of numbers that we were expecting. But the problem is, you can see here at 4,400 RPM or so, everything is just falling off. All of a sudden, it just loses a ton of power. Now, we tried various things. We didn't forget how to tune. It all worked out perfectly on the 4.8. We were also running E85. We had more than enough injector, more than enough pump. We're not dropping pressure. None of those things are happening. This was all at about, we even tried, I'll show you, we tried running more timing in this thing. And it does a little bit, but we're having something happen here that's not related to the tune. The air fuel on the gas scale is about 11.5 to 1, exactly the same as we ran on the 4.8. We know that this thing is doing, or should be doing, something differently. What should be happening is this torque curve should be just above the NA torque curve basically everywhere. It should just kind of railroad track over and be better than this all the way through, possibly until we run out of capacity of the supercharger. We don't need to spin this thing any faster. Something is happening that's causing this power to drop off like this. And unfortunately, right now, I don't know what it is. let's take a look at the boost curve, and I'll show you that this thing is probably not losing capacity, and that's why we think that there may be something going on with the motor. We're gonna because we ran out of time, I'm gonna have to take this thing off and do a compression test, and we'll do a leak down. I don't think anything's wrong with the motor. I mean, it ran perfectly solid when we were running this thing NA. So we're still scratching our heads a little bit about this, but let's take a look at the boost curves and see if we can figure out something there. So this is the boost curve supplied by the Cadillac STS Supercharger on our 6-liter. You can see it's starting out at the load in about 8.2 pounds. It's dropping down to, at 4,000 RPM, it's dropping down just below 7.5. I mean, on this scale, that looks like it's a dramatic drop, but you're talking about 3/4 of a pound. It's not, it's not a ton. Then it actually kind of climbs back up and gets back over 8 pounds of boost, 8.1 out here at about 6,000 RPM. This is actually the kind of boost curve that I would expect on this size blower and this size motor. Unfortunately, it's just not correlating to power. And we ran a couple of different runs where we tried different timing and things, and the boost curve is kind of consistent. And if anything, at the higher RPM, the boost curve is climbing up to 8.5, which is is kind of a good sign. But I don't see anything here in the boost curve that shows me what would be happening and why power would be falling off so dramatically in this combination. So if you guys have any things for us to try, let me know. Like I said, air fuel nice and steady at 11.5. We've got a good timing curve in it. It's not in the tune. There's something else going on. We thought maybe belt slippage. We even, as I showed you in the video, we even took a video camera in and had it aimed at the tensioner to see if maybe something was happening with belt slippage, but we're not seeing that. We tried to look at the inlet system to see if something was collapsing, or they're aluminum tubes, so there was nothing there. We're still kind of scratching our head. But the last thing I want to show you is a comparison between what's happening with the 6-liter and what happened with the 4.8-liter. To illustrate the difference between the 6.0 and the 4.8-liter, let's take a look at the NA stuff really quickly. So this was our 4.8. It made 400 horsepower, 401.7, and 368 foot-pounds of torque. And here's what the NA power output in comparison, looking at our 6.0, basically it made more power everywhere. It made 529 horsepower and 499 foot-pounds of torque, and it basically did everything better as we would expect of a 6-liter compared to a 4.8-liter. Now let's take a look and see what happened after adding boost to both of those. If we compare the 4.8-liter run with this Cadillac STS Supercharger, it made 591 horsepower and 592 foot-pounds torque, almost square there. This area here below 4,500, we could fill that in a little bit with a couple of degrees of timing, but as I said, we just kind of wanted everything to be safe and not hurt either one of these motors. But here's what happened in comparison to the... So this is our 6-liter, and it's doing what we kind of would expect below 4,000 or 4,500 RPM. It's making a lot more torque. It's making 645 foot-pounds to 590. And actually, I would kind of expect that number to be a little bigger than that, given the difference that we saw in torque production on the NA motor. So this tells us that something's going on. Even in the area where it seemed like it was working okay down here, you're still talking about a difference of 550 foot-pounds, 625. So you're talking about 75 foot-pounds there, difference between the 4.8 and the 6-liter. And I don't think this is blower capacity. I know if we sped the blower up, obviously, and we matched the boost, we could pick some power up. But I'm not concerned about that, about those minor things. What I'm concerned about is this thing just falling on its face after 4,500 RPM. So we've got some looking to do. When I say we, I mean me. I'm going to do a compression test. I'll do a leak down test. We'll obviously check the oil and make sure that there's nothing going on with the bearings, and then maybe check for leaks and double check the inlet system. I just don't really understand right now what's going on, but unfortunately I ran out of dyno time, so we're going to have to take another day to figure this out. Okay guys, what do we figure out running the Cadillac Supercharger on our 6-liter? We found out that every dyno day does not go perfectly. Now I don't think that we showed that this supercharger is too small for a 6-liter. I don't think we've actually figured that out yet. I think we have a problem with either the motor or a boost leak, or we have a coil pack going down or something like that. I don't think that this combination would act like it is on the dyno if we just ran out of supercharger. We've run plenty of other combinations with superchargers that are too small for that, and what we see is the boost will start to fall off at the top where there's not enough capacity to support what the NA motor wants to do, and we're not seeing that. So we have some other kind of problem, and unfortunately I don't have enough dyno time right now to figure that out on this combination the way that it is. So I have to take this off, but while I'm doing that, we are also going to do a couple things. We're going to do a compression test and a leak down, and I'm going to check the oil to make sure that there's no bearing material. I want to make sure that the motor is sound. I think that it is based on what we did on the NA combination, but I just want to verify that. Once we know that the NA motor is good, then we can look at other things. We can look at boost leaks, we can look at the air inlet system, we can make sure that the blower is not seizing up. We can look at all of these things and try to figure it out. I tried changing spark plugs, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. We tried changing coil packs, we tried doing a variety of different things. So I think we've eliminated some of those things, but we haven't figured out exactly what it is. But I will. I'm Richard Holder. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. More testing on the 6-liter coming up, even if we have to do it on another motor.